Welcome to Betty on the Go. I'm your host, Betty Gudel. It is a cold evening, so bundle up tonight. We have a really fascinating guest this evening, Janine Cook. She is a HypnoBirthing practitioner. And if you don't know what HypnoBirthing is, you're going to find out. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Betty.
So tell me, what is HypnoBirthing?
HypnoBirthing is training yourself to relax and to go within to your body and your baby, and trusting that your body was designed to birth naturally. Mm-hmm. And it's designed, a woman's body is designed to birth. So we need to believe in our bodies and ourselves that we can do it without any medical intervention. And it's learning, retraining your thoughts, because we're instilled from birth to believe that it's painful, that it's a medical event, which it's not. That we're instilled with fear. So we remove fear, and we teach you to put yourself into a relaxed state where you can listen to your body and do what you're going to do naturally.
Nature's supposed to do. Right. Because we tend to, whenever we think of childbirth, we think of, like in the movies, screaming and people throwing profanities at their husbands and making them feel just terrible, like it's like the end of the world. And then you hear a lot of women sharing their stories, and they'll say, you will never go through a more painful experience than a birth. And you hear that all the time, and then people love to share their stories, especially with really nice pregnant women, and then these women kind of go, oh my gosh.
Well, that's what we're conditioned to think, then, and that's the experience we're going to have, because we believe that that's what's going to happen. So if you can retrain your brain, if you can learn proper prenatal education, then you'll know that it's what you're supposed to do. It's what you were born to do, and it's not. It won't. You just trust yourself.
So when we say hypnobirthing, is there some sort of hypnotic?
It's a deep state of relaxation. Mm-hmm. You're aware of what's going on. At any time, you're able to come back to the room and communicate with people if that's what you choose to do. Mm-hmm. It's just, if you've had a long day at work and you drive home, and sometimes I used to refer to it as it's like I was in a video game playing a racing game. I don't remember how I got home. It was really strange. Well, that's a hypnotic state, and it happens to a lot of us. We're like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have drove home. I don't even remember the route I took.
You were in a trance.
Right, right, and we do it all the time. It's like daydreaming. So it's not a hypnoamnesia. It's not that. It's just a deep state of relaxation where you can block out frightening things in the background. You can still pick out your birthing partner. You can pick out their voice from in the room if you choose to do that. So.
And by doing this, the baby is in tune with that and feels it.
Yes. Well, all through the hypnobirthing classes, we teach you to talk to your baby, to start bonding with your baby right from the start, and of course your baby feels if you're tense, if you're afraid, and that's going to keep the baby calmer. And you're going to have long term, you'll have a baby that is more relaxed, more easily soothed, happier, a calmer baby, because that's what they've lived from before they were brought into the world.
You know what I did with my daughter is I had a dream when she was conceived that she was a girl. So I knew she was a girl anyways. I didn't even have to check. And I named her Isabel right away. I liked the name, and I kind of wanted to see if it fit. But so when everyone would say, oh, so what is it going to be? I'd say, oh, you mean Isabel? Because I referred to her as a person right away. I thought, she's not an it. She's a little person in there.
That's right.
And I kind of visualized seeing her, and I spoke to her all the time, just like she was there. And I think it did make it a closer experience.
Well, and you'll have a closer bond with your baby from the time your baby's born as well, because you've already been communicating with each other and bonding. And your partner, like your husband or whoever your partner is, they'll have a closer bond as well. They're really integrated into the whole program, and the whole pregnancy and the birthing process. And there's scripts that they'll read right in the class and be able to take home, where they can communicate with their baby as well. So it's not just the mom and the baby having a closer bond, it's the whole family having a closer bond.
That's true. And then in so many birthing experiences, the man feels very segregated, like he's not even part of it. And it's especially hard for men, because women get all the, oh my gosh, are you okay? And the baby, and they're kind of out of the picture. So it is nice, because now they become a family and be whole.
Yeah, it's been my experience that the men are actually, they display more fear than the women.
Yes, because they don't know what to expect. It's not happening to them.
Right.
They're not sure if they're doing the right thing, if they're helping enough, if they're supposed to be in the room. And of course, they watch all of these movies as well, and they see how much these women are yelling at them. They're thinking, oh my gosh, is this going to happen to me? Is she going to say things that I have to pretend that I'm not going to remember for the rest of my life?
A lot of men are also, they have that instilled in them that it's a very medical event, and I've had a lot of clients where the women really want to birth at home, but the husband is terrified, and if it was their choice, they would have, but they chose to be in some type of birthing facility because the partner was too afraid of what may happen if they didn't. So it goes both ways. For the men and the women have both been instilled with what they see on TV or other people's negative experiences.
So how long has hypnobirthing been around?
Marie Mongan, she's better known as Mickey, she had her babies back in the 50s and the 60s, and she had 4 children, and 2 of them she had the way that the hospital would like her to. Her second 2, she chose to go by Dr. Grantley Dick Reed's theory from a book he published in 1933. And
oh my gosh, so he had all this
on-
information, so it's new here, but it's not a totally brand new concept.
Right, the concept has been around since the 30s, and he was, they refer to him as the pioneer in natural birth, of natural birthing. So she was also a hypnotherapist, so she integrated that with his natural birthing theory, and she had her 2 children, her last 2 children that way. But then when her oldest daughter come to her and said, "Mom, I'd really like to birth naturally," that's when she developed the whole hypnobirthing curriculum or what have you. And it was first published in 1989. She published her first book, and that's when the hypnobirthing concept come about. And then it only come to Canada in 1996. So that's why it seems so new to us. But until celebrities started using it, like the Duchess and Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Angelina Jolie.
Oh my gosh, I can see how Angelina Jolie would use this. She would want to do something natural.
Definitely.
And be relaxed too.
So once they use that, that's when we started to hear about it in the last couple of years. But it's still not too many people know, not enough.
No, I just actually came across it, and I was very intrigued by it. I thought, wow, this is interesting. So what happens in one of these classes? How long are the classes generally for? And do you go alone, or do you go with a partner? We're going to find all this out after a short little break. Thank you for giving us 10,000 likes. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at knockstromdigitalmedia.com. And if you'd like to advertise and see your spot over here, you can contact knockstromdigitalmedia.com again. And don't forget to like the Windsor Express, and we have sponsorship programs, so if you'd like to sponsor some of the games, we're more than open to that too. And we'll be right back with Janine. That's okay. Okay. So we're back with Janine Cook. She is a hypnobirthing practitioner. So if I wanted to, or any other pregnant woman wanted to take a hypnobirthing workshop, you are the only practitioner in Windsor who offers this.
Yes, there are other hypnobirthing type programs. There's HypnoBabies. I'm not sure what other ones that there are, but I am the only hypnobirthing practitioner that practices the Marie Mongan method. And there's one in Chatham, Kent, and then I'm the only one here in Windsor, Essex.
So how often do you run them? And how long are the courses? Are they a month? Are they 2 months? Or are they once a week, twice a week?
It's a 5-week program, and you have there's a class once per week for 5 consecutive weeks. They run 2.5 hours. And there was another question. So, and yes, if you have a doula, you definitely would want to bring your doula and or your partner as well with you. It is a self-hypnosis, but whoever you're going to have there, like as your partner, there are going to be times, well, there may be times when they may need to use keywords or anchors to help get you back on track and focused and into a deeper, relaxed state.
And we didn't come into this world by ourselves, so it's nice to have other people around. And I think in the really tribal traditional ways, nobody has a birth by themselves. It's all the ladies who get together, and it's almost like a physical birth. They're not just waiting there in a hospital. It's like a celebration. Everybody helps them out. So what do you bring? Do you bring a pillow? Do you bring a yoga mat?
There's chairs in there. A lot of the scripts are done while you're sitting in a chair, but I definitely recommend, especially for a woman who has back discomfort, that she may want to bring a pillow with her. Dress in layers, because it's just impossible to have a classroom full of people and to keep them all happy.
Exactly, especially when you're expecting.
Right. So if you're dressed in layers, then you're guaranteed to be comfortable. And of course, like, I'll have snacks and refreshments, but if there's anything specifically that they would like, I mean, we all know it's very important to stay hydrated when you're pregnant. There can you can actually cause contractions and dehydration and hospitalization and such if you don't stay hydrated, and it's very important when you're pregnant to snack small snacks frequently. So if there's anything specifically that you would like, then to bring that as well.
And that helps keep your blood sugar at a certain level.
Yes. And your energy and to be able to stay focused in the class too.
And you're also a hypnotist.
Yes.
So that's very interesting.
Yes. Not to be confused with a hypnotherapist, as I was saying earlier. So I can't do anything medical, but I can do programs for people for basic pain or sadness, not depression. So anything that doesn't have a medical diagnosis, I can and do as well.
And so would this concept also work for infertility? Because there's so many women who wait till they're a little bit older in life, and then we're so busy, we don't have that time to relax, and then all of a sudden we decide we're 35 and we only have this small little window, and now we've got to have a baby within the next 5 months, and if we don't, and we put so much pressure on ourselves, it doesn't happen. So would hypnotherapy or hypnobirthing, would that concept work for women who are trying to conceive?
There is actually another program, so you would be looking for a hypnobirthing fertility consultant.
Okay, and you do this as well?
I don't do that, no. Okay. I'm not certified by Marie to do that
yet.
But, right, I have been looking into it. But statistics show that for 6 months of women or couples working together through this fertility program, that after 6 months of doing it straight, learning how to relax, 42% actually were able to conceive on their own without any fertility treatment or anything.
That's huge, 42%, that's almost half.
Yeah.
So now when we do come to your class, everyone gets a copy of this book.
Yes. And there's a CD that comes in the back of the book, and then there's also the Rainbow Relaxation CD that I provide to them as well.
Oh, nice. So they can listen to that in the car or anytime.
As long as they're not driving.
That's true. But I mean, if they're just passengers and they're just,
Yeah.
Well, that's terrific. And it seems like there's a plethora of information.
Yes.
Very nice. And a lot of women tend not to be needing epidurals, right? There's also a huge percentage that bypass epidurals, any kind of drugs with hypnobirthing.
The majority don't, because when we're able to relax, our uterus is made up all of muscles. We have long muscles and we have circular muscle fibers all the way down to the neck of our cervix. So the key to birthing quickly and easily is to keep your body relaxed so that your pelvis can open, all your tendons and muscles relax. So each surge that you have brings baby down. It's a more effective surge. So when you're relaxed, your natural endorphins will kick in. And they say that your pain relieving endorphins are actually 200 times more powerful than morphine.
Wow.
So once you can relax, then you're going to have your own natural pain relieving medication that your body produces.
And when you think of that, a baby is instinctual with the mother and so in tune. So when you have this innate, tremendous amount of fear, the baby can feel that. So why would you want to come to the world? Right?
Well, that's true too. I don't know that a lot of people realize that it's not just mom birthing. The baby actually works with you to come down. The baby has to turn and come down, through the opening of the cervix and the vaginal opening, and that's a process that the baby has to do. But if you're tensed up, baby may not be able to turn efficiently, and if you're not, then the baby can, and the baby works with you, and that's why most hypnobirthing women have much shorter labor and delivery.
And you see, a lot of them look so relaxed and happy afterwards. Just a really nice bonding.
Actually, that wasn't a hypnobirth. I didn't have photos of it, but that woman did birth her baby completely natural, and she had a very long labor and delivery her first time. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think it was like 30 hours or something. And from the time I was with her until the time she had her baby, it was only 6 or 6.5 hours.
Wow.
So
big difference.
Yeah, I mean the support of a doula really is very helpful as well. But those were the only photos I had. But yeah, she went 100% natural.
Right. And you were a doula as well. So
yes.
You have, you're not just a hypnobirthing practitioner, you are also a doula. So you have, both ends, which is so enlightening for women, because you have so much information and knowledge to share. And you are also a mother 5 times over.
Yes.
And you also delivered babies naturally.
I did.
So you can speak from this experience, and I think just with your calmness, that will recite to the other ladies giving birth to, and your pleasant experience that you did it. And you're not a big person.
Yeah, well, I have to chase all of those children around the house.
Yeah, exactly. And now what happens if a woman, because of medical problems, or maybe because the baby is breached, and they think that, well, you know what, the baby's not going to turn, let's book a cesarean in advance. So how could hypnobirthing benefit a woman who is going to be having a cesarean, and can it change her path?
A lot of times it actually does. It can correct what the medical team viewed as a problem. I mean, you can birth breech babies naturally. You don't have to have a cesarean anyways, but we do have a specific script to turn a breech baby.
That's really interesting.
And it's still, even if in the end the woman did have to have a cesarean, hypnobirthing is still very beneficial to them, as well as the baby. you're bonding with your baby, like I explained earlier. You know, you're still going to have that bonding, and also you're learning how to relax. Now, that's not just going to help you to relax when you go in for this surgery. It's going to teach you to relax so that your natural milk reflex if you're breastfeeding will let down. You need to be relaxed to be able to do that. And just in daily living, to be able to relax, like, there's a lot of benefits, not just one time for when you birth your baby. As well, if you go in to have a cesarean, you know, you need to have anesthesia, and if you're very tense and very afraid, it can actually prevent your body from accepting the anesthesia as you normally would or would like to, definitely, if you're having a surgery. So it can be very beneficial to women who have cesareans too.
And it's so nice because it is a nice bonding time for couples, and when a baby's brought into the world with couples who are so close and giving and sharing with each other, and even just breathing in unison is such a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So what stage of pregnancy is hypnobirthing recommended? Should you do it right at the beginning? Should you do it towards the end?
It's probably best if done in the second stage of pregnancy, because then you have time to practice. I mean, we get better with everything with practice, including relaxing. So that would be the optimal time to do it. It is a 5-week course, and you do want your last class to be completed by 3 weeks before your expected date of delivery, because some women will have their babies sooner than expected. So, you know, I would say by 32 weeks. By 32 weeks, you should be beginning your classes.
Okay. And so, how often do you run workshops? And can people book privately? Because sometimes your birth doesn't always fall into the dates where your workshops happen, right?
Right. This is actually going to be my first group hypnobirthing class, because I haven't had enough of a response when I've brought it to, you know, up to on my Facebook page and stuff. So there's cost to me. I can't hold it in my home. I have 5 children and 3 stepchildren, so I have a busy house. So I have to book somewhere for 5 classes. So I just decided I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it out, and I mean, I would like to be doing it every 3 months, so 4 times a year, if I can get a big enough response.
Well, I think that scares anything that people don't know about. It scares them. So when they're not sure and they don't know, and they don't have anyone else that they can talk to about.
But I do, like I said, this is my first group class, but I have been teaching private in-home classes, which some people prefer, you know, in the privacy of their own home. They're more comfortable, they can relax easier.
Exactly. And now, we talked about you being a doula, but I'm not sure that a lot of people even know what a doula is. A lot of people think a doula and a midwife are the same, and how different their roles are. And so what is a doula?
Well, doula, the word doula itself is actually a Greek word that means woman slave.
Oh, interesting.
So our role is to make sure women don't feel like they're alone, to provide them support, education. We teach them their patient rights, because a lot of us don't know what we have the right to refuse in the hospital. You know, sometimes we're pushed into doing things that we don't want to do, and we're sometimes made to believe that we have no other option, that we can't say no. So we teach them what their rights are. A lot of people also mistakenly think that we advocate for them. We do not advocate for them, but we teach them how to advocate for themselves. So I always describe it as, I can show you the door, I can show you the door. If you choose to walk through the door, that's your choice. I can't open the door, I can't carry you through it, but I absolutely will hold your hand and walk through it with you and be there every step of the way. So I mean, every doula is different, because we're not governed by any, you know, by the government or anything like that. So we get to make our own hours and everything. I provide a lot of emotional support with my clients. I, in particular, do. I'm very passionate about preventing postpartum depression.
It's huge. So many people in North America have it. It's almost expected.
So, right. So I educate on that, and I educate the partner or whoever else is going to be in close contact with the mom. I educate them on how to recognize it. I provide them with resources. And really the best way to prevent postpartum depression is to prevent it before it happens.
So you know what we're going to do is we're not going to go into that because that's huge.
Right, it is.
And so we're going to bring Janine back, and we're going to talk about postpartum depression, how to postpone it so it never happens, right? And how to enjoy your baby and enjoy life, and forego that, because I'm sure there's so many different ways. That's so huge. And I think when a woman goes through postpartum, it really scares the partner because they don't know how to handle it. And there's so many different varying degrees of postpartum that people think that these women are just doing it on their own and they can get out of it, and they can't, and they're like searching for help.
It's actually perinatal mood disorders. Postpartum depression is just one of the possible perinatal mood disorders that women can suffer from. So yeah, it is big. I wrote an article actually in the Mom to Mom monthly e-newsletter, and it's also posted on my website. So, but another thing that a birth doula does is, like, I provide massage and just relaxation techniques, and I'm like their coach, or their cheerleader. So I help them to stay relaxed and comfortable, and that's my goal. And it's proven that they have shorter labors and deliveries, less need for cesareans or any medical intervention, as well as they're less likely to have postpartum depression or any perinatal mood disorder.
I was going to bring up your face. There we go. Is it on? No, it's not coming.
It didn't come up.
It didn't come up. I was trying to bring your Facebook page up. If you want to get in touch with Janine and you want to book one of the prenatal classes, you can like her on Facebook, and that's at A Mother's Blessing. If I could bring that up. You can also contact her through your website, right? And that is right up on the board, but it's not showing. Let's try just 1 second. It's at www.a- let's try that there. Oh. It's there? Okay, there we go. That's your Facebook page. So anybody can like your Facebook page. And then I like Facebook because it gives you all the updates, and people can see pictures and visuals, and you can have conversations, and I think it's very enlightening for women too. And you've also got your I did have your
1 minute, Betty.
okay. Oh, it went away. Okay, so if people want to get in contact with you for this one, they can get you at
www.a-mothersblessing.com.
mothersblessing.com.
They can email me at jnc@a-mothersblessing.com, or telephone me at 519-562-1828. And my next class is March 22nd.
Okay, so we have that up on the screen right there. That's all your information. And there we go. So that will start, and that's at St. Paul's United Church, just on Paulette. So it's nice and easy. And you get so much information with that, and the book, and the CD. I think that's a great price. And it's a nice time to bond, and it's a nice outing, actually, for the two of you, for the couple. And we're going to have Janine back, because there's so many different things that we can talk about with HypnoBirthing. We are going to talk about postpartum depression. We're going to talk about breastfeeding because a lot of moms say, I can't breastfeed.
I'm a breastfeeding counselor as well.
Great, and it really hurts. Oh. Okay. And so we're going to talk about breastfeeding and the different ways that will help you nurse and different ways of latching, because I'm sure that really makes a big difference to the way the baby latches on, if a woman's hurt or not. And what else do we want to talk about? Oh my gosh, there's so many different things with birthing. The whole thing too is when you're having a baby, the whole thing is you don't know what to expect. So that's why a doula is really great, and to go to a HypnoBirthing class so that you can feel really relaxed. I'm Betty Gudel. Make sure to join Janine's group and like her on Facebook. Until next week.
Thank you.
Oh, and sorry, did you want to see this, Alex? The Windsor Express, forgot that. You put that right beside me and I forgot. I'm like, the Windsor Express, yay! Good. Okay. I know, it goes by so fast. Well, you know what?